Michelle Kretzmeier. This is my dad, Jay Kretzmeier.
Hi,
I
Michelle.
will be interviewing him.
Yes, I appreciate being interviewed this evening. No, November 21st, 2000.
I guess I was gonna ask you kind of about like Kretzmeier family history since you've done a lot of research on that. Um, I know there are interesting stories of how we got over here.
Well, I've I've got I've got up on my computer screen some information that I prepared for my cousin's family back in 2009, and so I'll probably refer to that a little bit, and some from memory. But the research that I've done and some materials that have been left by ancestors, family members, are that my great great grandfather, who was the immigrant to America, his name was Ludwig Heinrich Kretzmeier, and also later known in America as Louis H. Kretzmeier. He was born on April 9th in 1837 in Schneeren, Hanover, Germany. He was the son of Wilhelm and Louise Hoppe Kretzmeier. At the age of 18, he sailed from Germany, left Bremen, and sailed to the United States. It is reported by other family members, 2 generations above me, that he left Germany at the age of 18 to avoid conscription into the Prussian army. In that day, it took 11 weeks to sail on a sail ship to America, and it's believed that he may have been a stowaway on that boat. Documentation of his trip hasn't been located. However, in 1864, he returned to Germany to transport his younger sister Caroline to the United States, and that trip happens to be documented in volumes Germans to America by Ira Glazer, and he arrived from Bremen, Germany to New York, and arrived November 7th of 1864. In that list, there is a manifest list in the National Archives, and that list shows Louis and his sister Caroline, and there were 283 passengers on that ship. Once he made it to America, he followed other relatives or Germans to Ripley County in Indiana, and he obtained work as what was called a cooper, and that's someone who makes rings for barrels. And of course, in that area and close to Kentucky, there were distilleries, and so they needed to have barrels. He did that for several years, and then went into the Dearborn County, next to neighboring county, and in what Lawrenceville or Weisburg area, and began. He actually began farming there then in that area. On October 11th of 1858, he became a naturalized citizen. And so I think it's very interesting. One of the things that I've paid attention to here in our immigration issues we've had lately in America is that he had only been here 3 years, and so he became a naturalized citizen, only being here for 3 years, and Also, I know full well he didn't speak any English, and so his naturalization papers are recorded in the Dearborn County, Indiana Naturalization Book number 4 on page 64. If you ever want to go look, he married Catherine Wisahan, and in 1859, and she was born in Indiana and had lived in a dugout. There were 15 children in her family. They ended up one of the stories that has been handed down is that during our Civil War, soldiers came through, and they would go ahead and kind of like in the Prussian, they would grab people and say, "You're enlisted into the service," and if they had cattle, they would take the cattle. And so in this instance, he was objected to war, and so when they knew troops were coming, he hid in a void area in between the ceiling and their attic, and then they had scattered their cattle. And so when the troops came, his wife said that she was a widow, and so they escaped finding him, and all their cattle were saved because they didn't have any cattle close by. So that's an interesting story.